Amen. Bless God. This is Pastor Rohan Robinson. Bless God. Right, so we've been talking about pain for change. And as I stated, that it is something you cannot run away from. And God knows if you have fully dealt with what you need to deal with. He knows, because sometimes we will tell ourselves that I am done, right? I am finished. And when you say you are done and you are finished, it doesn't mean that God has brought you to the place of perfection. You may be done, but God may not be through with you.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
Wow.
So because you verbalize and say that I have done this and I have done that, and you feel contented within your spirit, body, mind, and soul, and said, yes, I have done. No, you have not done all you need to do in order to stand.
Amen.
Amen.
So your done, your finish is not God's, because God, He will continue to perfect those things that concerns you. Why? Because He loves you.
Yeah.
He cares for you. And what He doesn't want is for any seed of anything to come in and to destroy you. Then you will not be perfected in His will. Then that will cause Him to fail, and God is not a failure.
Amen.
That's right. That's right.
So sometimes when you feel you're going through hell, it's because God is saying that I am true to my word and I can't fail.
Amen.
You never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Because anything that comes out of His mouth, it's done.
Amen.
That's what we don't understand about God. Whatever that has been spoken is done. So He cannot go back on His word.
Amen.
So when you are going through and you are going through your test and trial, what needs to come to your mind is, oh Lord, you already said it. And you can't lie. You cannot go back on your word. So okay, help me to attain the level. Open up my eyes. Give me insight. Give me revelation. Lord, show me. While you are showing me, embrace me.
Amen.
Because if you don't hold me, I don't know how am I going to get through this.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Amen.
That's that security blanket that we have. And I told you last week that there are many things whereas God doesn't need our help.
Amen.
And I want to make sure I put this point in because it came to me. Now, when we try to help God by doing things our way, we bring others into a volatile situation. Proof. We increase conflict. We cannot do things outside of God's order and expect to receive the promise. What do I mean by that? Sarah, Abraham, God promised them a child. But that child was supposed to come through Abraham and Sarah. But Abraham, Sarah, they came together, made an agreement, and the maid came into play, and Ishmael came afterwards. But because what God has spoken, He cannot go back, regardless of if you were to get the result of what you intended to do. It doesn't mean those are God's results.
Amen.
My God.
See, you can have success outside of the will of God, but it doesn't mean that God is going to put a seal on it and say, I accept it.
My God.
We can get results. Ishmael came, correct? That was a result based on what Sarah and Abraham decided to do, correct?
Amen.
But the results, Ishmael, they are the group which is considered Arabic. They are the brothers and sisters of the Jews. But they've been contending, they've been fighting against each other ever since.
That's right.
But Abraham, they were happy at the time, but look what came after. Even though you may get results based on what you go out to do, if it's outside of the promises of God, you watch out now. Watch out. Watch out. So, one thing that you all need to understand is this. God is not emotional.
Amen.
I can weep, oh Lord, help me, Jesus. And we can weep, moan, cry all day. And God is up there on his throne. I will perfect what's concerning you. And you can bawl, you can scream, you can holler, and you can moan. I will perfect what is concerning you. And later on, he will tell you, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Then later on, he will tell you, it's not by your power, it's not by your might, it is by my spirit, saith the Lord. And he will keep telling you, and bringing his word back to your recollection. That is to empower you in the midst of your conflict, because he wants you to see the light of him. It is not that he's trying to make you miserable. No, he wants you to see his light. Let me go through this, people of God. I have so much here that I want to say today, but Lord Jesus, I may cut, and go through, but there's some things I want to say. Now, Genesis 27 and 41, it shows Esau emotional pain that also can lead to physical pain. We read over that last time. Listen to this. Please repeat this for me. Emotional pain will lead or can lead to physical pain. Please repeat that for me.
Emotional pain will or can lead to
Physical pain. Emotional frustration can cause physical and spiritual blindness also. Emotional frustration can cause physical and spiritual blindness. People have become blind because of stress. Because of stress, people become sick, and they will go to the doctor, and the doctor does all kind of tests, and they can't find nothing that's wrong with the person.
That's right. That's right.
I can get an amen on that one.
Amen.
They can't find one thing, and that's when you have to go back to the spirit man. It's not every sickness is physical. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, glory be to God. Sometimes we call down sickness on ourselves.
Amen.
By speaking into your own life. I feel sick, but you're not sick. I feel like this, I feel like that. You can't go by what you feel, what you see, or what you hear when it comes to you being spiritual.
Amen.
You have to be cognizant of these things that goes through your ear gate, through your eye gate, through your smell, and through your taste. You have to be cognizant of that, because those things, when you internalize it, it becomes a part of you. And depending on how spiritual you are, it can affect you in so many different negative ways.
Amen.
So you always, they tell you, be aware of your surroundings. Yes, be aware of your surroundings. And that's why God said, guard your heart, guard your mind, your spirit with all diligence, because you don't want these issues that's in you to flow out. And when they flow out, you don't know who's going to tear up or tear down.
My God.
How you always say that? It's not that he's telling you that you won't have issues, but what he's saying that be careful how these things come out. Because emotional can lead to what? Physical. Watch this. Watch Esau. 27 and 41. I read this last week, but we missed a lot. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, 27 and 41, Genesis, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Even if I don't go any further from there, because this morning God was just speaking to me. Watch this. Esau, he respect and reverence the memory of his father. Yes?
Yeah.
But he said, my deceitful brother, I'm going to kill him.
My God.
Watch this. In the heat of your ache and pain, we say a lot of things we don't mean. I should get an RD amen for that one.
Amen.
Right, Shailene?
Amen. Amen.
I love messing with Shailene because she's just always paying attention. When y'all look at me, Pastor gonna mess with you. So that doesn't mean don't look at me, because if you don't look at me, then I'm still gonna mess with you. So we meant it at the time, but when the sun goes down, we go back. Did I say that? Or with the Urkel, did I do that? Yes, you did. So in the midst of emotion, emotional distress, you have to be so very careful. Yes. Yes. And there are many times we are speaking out of our pain. Oh, Jesus. Any of you? Watch this. Listen to this. And these words of Esau, her eldest son, Rebekah, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob. She went and called Daddy. And said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as for touching thee, doth comfort himself, purpose to kill you. This is where the Lord was speaking to me this morning. I thought I was done with the message. I will bury my daddy, then I will kill you. Listen to the church. Watch this. I will come to church, lift up holy hands, but when I leave, I'm going to kill you. Sister Michelle got that look. Esau said, I'm going to bury my father, then after that, I'm going to kill my brother. It's no different from us coming to church, lifting up holy hands, speaking in tongues, running around, dancing, then as soon as we leave out of here, undue discretion, something presents itself to us, I'm going to kill you, and I'm putting it in that manner. Whether I'm going to kill you verbally or physically. Hey, glory be to God. It's no different. Yeah, God. It's no different than me saying to you, I love you, but then as soon as I say I love you, I'm out there cussing you out. I'm out there pounding you and beating you, but I just said to you that I love you. But I'm going to bury my father. Oh, that is so heartfelt, isn't it? It shows that he has what? A good heart to reverence and care for his father. But right here, he is speaking where? Out of his what? His pain, his hurt, his sorrow, his shame. When discontention comes in, be careful, because the Bible says, don't give place to who? The devil. You give him place, when he get a foothold in your life, he will destroy you. Oh my God. Hallelujah. He will destroy you. Amen. My God. Yes, I have heard stories. Preachers, pastors, murdering their wives. You wonder what spirit world they're being led by. My God. So because you are in the church building doesn't mean that you are a part of the church. The ecclesia, the called out one, which is of God. That's two different types of church. You have the building and you have the spiritual church. Do you just want to come to the building, or do you want to be a part of the spiritual church? Amen. Oh, glory be to God. Because the power is not in the building. The power is in the one where the church resides. Don't you know that the Spirit of God dwells in earthen vessels, knowing that the excellency of the power is not of you or I, but it is of God. This is where God resides, and wherever God is, there is power. Amen. That's true. But power must be exercised for you to know there is power there. Power doesn't mean when you destroy stuff, it doesn't mean that's power. My question is, who is killing you, and who are you killing? Two questions. Who's killing you? Simply put, who are you allowing to control you? Who are you allowing to move you where God is trying to keep you away from? Who? And vice versa, who are you hurting? Who are you hurting? Think about it. Brother against brother. This is like Cain and Abel, isn't it? Cain killed Abel. But do y'all see what is transpiring from generation to generation to generation? Is that what you want your child or your children to grow into? To keep repeating the mistakes of the see how this is traveling? Who will get up and rise up and say, it's enough. Enough is enough. I'm going to put a stop to it. Who said the buck stopped here? Who has enough vigor and tenacity in their spirit in order to say that? Who does? If I only go as far as here, watch what God is saying to many of us. You can turn to this, Matthew 5:43. Let's turn here. Bring some New Testament scriptures into this. Look at the expectation of God. I just want to read through this. Matthew 5:43 through 48. Now, he said, you have heard. So let me put that to you right now. It's not that you have never heard this. It's that you have. That it had been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. That's more of a sarcasm, you know. You remember back in the past, they say, eye for an eye. Oh, we used to believe that, huh? Yeah. Like, you plug my eye out, I'm going to get my boys, my mama, my old grandma, she going to come with her cane and everything else, and we going to get you. Then we come blood thicker than water. We have all the little analogies, don't we? But where is God in it? Okay. 44. But I say unto you, this is what God said. This is what God said. Now look, this is your philosophy. This is your view. This is your thinking. So right now, you're going to come over to where I'm going to have a conversation with you.
Amen.
Because you can have your own way. You can have your own thought. You can feel how you want to feel. Amen. The Bible said, Proverbs 60, that all the ways of men is right in their own sight, but the answer of the tongue comes from God. So you can think you're right. But at the end of the day, I'm going to show you who the man is. Come on now. Because we are not autonomous. We cannot function by ourselves. It's either you're going to function with two things, the Spirit of God or the spirit of hell. There are only two spirits in this world, good and evil. Which one do you have? The church should be saying good. I know y'all listening. Just messing with y'all. I don't want y'all just to get on. I want y'all to listen. Only two spirits. So whenever somebody says, I don't believe in Christianity, I don't believe in God, you're either going to function with two spirits, good or evil. Only two spirits. It's either God or the enemy. There's no in between. There's no purgatory. There's no, I'm a good person. Oh yeah, well, Esau was a good person, but he said, I'm going to kill you afterwards. There's no in between. But he said, no. But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that what? Hate you. That what? Hate you. That does what? Hate you. Levi, do good to them that does what? Hate you. No, you got to say louder than that, bro. Let the church say, hate you. Lisa? I like that smile. So, Sister Eula, if I'm up here preaching and messing with you about your basketball game, do good to them that what? Hate you. Oh, God. Oh, no. Here's it. And pray for them which does what? Despitefully use. No, this is not in the Bible. This is not God. So, I'm not supposed to get out my buckshot when my enemy mess with me and start bucking? Help me, Lord. Help me, Jesus. No? I'm not going to bury my father, then go kill them? No? You feel, oh, well, yeah. And let's be honest. When our emotion is stirring, when our spirit, when we are hurt, when we are in pain, when we open these doors for the enemy to come in, when we are not at the place where we are guarding our heart and our mind and all of these things, the of pain and shame, and it just comes in like a rush of a mighty wind, and it hit us. Man, we just, oh my God, what happened? We become drunk in anxiety and stress and distress and grief.
That's true.
We become drunk, and we are not thinking cognitively.
Amen.
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 Come on, let's go. And pray for them that use you. I can see that now. Despitefully.
That's right. Don't we hear that?
To pray for somebody that has been
My God.
See, that is what we call natural and supernatural.
That's right.
Supernatural, it subverts, it goes beyond the natural.
That's right.
And that is where God is telling you and I that we have to live where most of our living is in the heavenlies and not in the earth.
Amen. Amen.
That's right.
Amen.
He didn't just call you and I just to be mere man and mere woman. He wants us to live a supernatural life here on earth. Why? Because he is the God that is eternal. He has all power, and he dwells in you and I. And he expects a lot more from us.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
He expects a lot. Despitefully use you and persecute you. 45. Oh, let's all read this together. See, there is a reason for God's madness, yes? Come on, say this after me. There is a reason for God's madness.
There is a reason for God's madness.
God said, the foolish, he said that, oh God, what was the scripture? It says that he have used the foolish things of this earth in order to confound the wise. So if you are praying for someone that have just despitefully used you, the world would say that's not wise. The world would say, lock him up, persecute him, condemn, an eye for an eye. They shouldn't have done that. But God is saying, I want you to be different.
That's right.
I want you to do something that when the world see you, the world will go back and say, whoa, what have just happened here? So there's a purpose for God's madness. 45, that you may be the children of who?
Your Father,
Who is where?
which is in heaven,
For he what?
maketh his sun to rise on the evil,
And also on the good.
on the good.
And he sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. So he is blessing everybody.
Yes, he is.
Even those that don't deserve it,
Yes, sir.
they are being blessed. So God said, if you say you are my child, you are going to be like your father. And you're going to bless those that don't deserve the blessing at the time. Can you be like God?
My Lord. Come on now.
Can you act like him? Can you walk like him? Can you think like him? Can you believe as he believed? So he said, look, you have to be transformed. That's where Romans comes in. He said, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the way, the mercies, those things that have been given to you that you don't deserve, because it rains on the just and also the unjust. So you don't ask God for rain, but he gives you rain. You didn't ask him for the sun, but he gives you the sun. You didn't ask him for light, but he gives you light. You didn't ask him for air, but he gives you air to breathe every single day, every morning. Those are the mercies that are being renewed every day. You don't ask, but he gives. Can you give somebody something without them asking when they have deceitfully used you? Woo! My God! My God! Oh, my God. Oh, do you really want to be like God?
Amen. Amen.
This is God-like.
Yes.
This is a God atmosphere.
Yes, it is.
This is God illuminating us to say that we have to live above the world.
Yes.
I love this. It stretches us to a capacity where we've never been stretched before. Because 46 says, for if you love them which love you, what reward have not even the publicans do the same?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's true.
So, everybody is loving. That's what he's saying, right?
Man.
Everyone is loving. He said, that's cool, that's good, and that's fine. But he says, I don't just want you to love. Let me put it this way. I want you to be a lover. I don't just want you to love. I want you to be a lover. This is how you do it. Because even the publicans, they are doing the same.
Yeah.
So God is saying, my God, there is another level beyond the world that you can attain. Are you willing to achieve it? Do you believe it in order to receive it, to achieve it? Do you really believe it? And if you believe it, are you willing to be stretched in order to get there?
Man.
We want to get there, but we don't want to be stretched. That's a silver spoon. That's a gold spoon.
Man.
Yeah?
Yes.
But no. Not everyone was born or birthed with a gold spoon. Jacob and Esau, by the time they were in the womb, they were what? Conflict. They were birthed in conflict. They were born in conflict. Some of you don't even realize that your destiny in God, it is built upon conflict. You can't run away from it. But God is saying, be strong, be courageous. I will be with you unto the very end. Because look, the battle is not yours. It belongs to me. But I want you to trust me through the battle. And I will win the war for you also.
Amen.
Oh, God. So it said, and if you salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even the publicans. He bring the publicans back again. Then 48, he said, be ye therefore perfect, mature, even as your Father which is in heaven. So he said, in order to be perfect, you have to do opposite from what the world does.
Man.
He's giving you all of the answers right here. He's not trying to hide anything from you. Publicans, they are tax collectors. Y'all hate them that collect taxes, don't y'all? Don't act like y'all love folks that when your uncle, how did he become my uncle? He ain't my uncle. What a publican is a tax collector. It's a class detested not only by Jews, but by other nations also, both on account of their what? Employment and harshness, their greed, their deception in which they did their job. So, if these people are doing the same thing on that same level, no, listen to this. Even the publicans do those things, right? So, God is saying there's a transition beyond that. And if you have not transitioned beyond that, you are no different from these people. Say ouch. We hate tax collectors. So that means that somebody hates you because of who you are. If you are not in the Spirit. And even when you are in the Spirit, they still hate you, right? So, it's best to be hated on righteousness than for what? On righteousness. Yes?
Yes.
Because righteousness is going to get you somewhere. On righteousness, you're still going to go somewhere. But where righteousness is, I might have some AC, right? Yes? I'm going to chill with my virgin pina colada, right? Yes? I'm going to be mounting up on wings as an eagle. I'm going to be running and not be weary. I'm going to walk and not faint. Right? Yes?
Amen. Amen. Amen.
So God is saying, look, there's a better substitution.
Yes, it is.
Because if everybody is doing it, I don't want you to do it.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
I haven't even gotten into my message. Now, this family's current situation has escalated to being what? Volatile, unstable, and precarious. Watch this. People will find comfort in hurting you.
My God.
Y'all better laugh at that. We have seen it right here. Why? Because of something that was what? Taken away. It can be the simplest of all things that is taken away from a person. They will come after you. If they are emotionally disturbed. Be careful who you get into fellowship and relationship with.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
Be careful, be watchful, be mindful. God doesn't want us to be ignorant, right? Let me get past this. All right, watch this. And watch this. When you are being led, let me skip that statement. Running away from one thing, you should be running towards something else.
Amen.
Correct?
Amen.
This is what Jacob's mom told him. Genesis 27:43. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice and rise, flee, run, and go to my brother Laban in Haran, and tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turns away, until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast what done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? So mama said what? Run. Boy, I'll be like the $6 million man. Yeah. Yeah.
Amen.
Now, since I'm teaching, I want to drop a couple things in your spirit. Sisters and watch this. Proverbs 16:18 says, pride goeth before what? Destruction. And an haughty spirit goes before what? The fall. Let me read this other verse also. Ezekiel 33:5 said, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that hath what? Taken warning shall deliver his soul. Let's put this in context. It doesn't mean because you have an issue in your house that this pertains to you, does it? Correct? But mama said run. There are some individual pride comes before the fall. Oh no, I ain't go wrong. I'm strong.
I can handle it.
Hurricane Maria. All the hurricanes that came. Oh no, I'm going to stay in my little shack. It can hold. It has been built up on a rock. How many people have been warned? But the Ezekiel says what? The blood is up on who? On yourself. How many of us try to blame people after we have been warned? Yeah? How many of us? You ain't gonna blame Pastor for anything, are you sure? No, this is serious.
Amen.
He said, look, he heard the sound of the trumpet.
Yeah.
Yeah? I know back in the days they used to say, oh, if you're a Christian and your husband is abusing you, stay in the house and pray. You know, this scripture says, if you heard the sound of the trumpet, if you hear the sound of that man or vice versa, the woman pounding on you, it's not any different nowadays, is it?
No.
No. So I said, if you heard it and what? Took no warning, the blood is upon him. But he that maketh warning shall what? Deliver his own soul. People of God.
Yeah.
Again, I'm saying this is not for everyone. Understand. This is teaching. This can be looked at in all aspects of our lives. What God is saying, faith cometh by what?
Yeah.
So if there are things that you see and you hear and you know that it's not a situation that you need to be in, it could could be at the job. It could be anywhere. He said, you know what? Kind of separate yourself for a season.
Amen, amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Separating yourself from a volatile situation for a season, it doesn't mean that you just gone. What you're saying is that you just kind of go into a place of what? Safety.
Amen.
So you can think what? Properly.
Amen. Amen.
My God, that's deep.
God.
What is it, 52? All right. I want to get to this point. Let's go to Genesis 27:46, and we're going to jump over to Genesis 28. So 27 and 46. Are you guys getting some stuff from this? Amen? All right. So I'm just not here hollering and hooping I'm going to get there someday. So when I do, y'all just let Pastor go. Okay? All right. 46, and Rebekah said, 27 and 46, and Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. Listen to this. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life be? We are seeing something here. Now, Rebekah didn't just get up to do a certain thing just to do it. She didn't just say, oh, I'm going to deceive my husband. I'm going to deceive my son just to do it. But at the same time, God doesn't need your help.
Amen.
That's right.
I made that point clear in the first place, right?
Amen.
Watch this. Genesis 28 and 8. Jump there. And Esau, seeing that his daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael and took upon the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael's, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife. I want to just paraphrase that. So we see things, the big picture coming into play. Jacob, his birthright was stolen. Why? Because Rebekah went to God and asked, what's going on up in this womb? My husband prayed for a baby, and it seems like there's just hell going on up in here. What's going on? Then he told him that there are two nations that's in the womb. And he told him that what? The older shall serve the young. That was prophecy. But when Mama saw that the older son had it in for the Canaanite women, that's not a part of the genealogy of God. What she say is, I'm going to step in and protect what's have been prophesied to me.
Right.
She said, it was spoken, I heard. Faith cometh by hearing. So since I heard it, it was told to me, I'm going to protect it. God didn't ask her for her help. But she took it upon herself to protect the promise. I'm going to flip it on you. What has God promised you? Based according to his will. That you are taking the necessary steps in order to protect it. Your salvation, your love, your joy, your hope, your peace, because I can tell you this, there is a Jacob that is coming after you in order to get it. There is a situation that is coming after you to try to take your peace, to try to take your love, to try to take your joy, to try to take your mind, to try to take your thoughts, trying to take your children, your husband, or your wife, or your family. There is something that is coming after you to try, but you have to protect what God has promised you. Why? Because you have faith in God and you have heard, so you believe. And without faith, it's impossible to please God, because those who go to God must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder to those that diligently seek him.
Amen. Amen.
I'm going to label you all right now. Protectors. Protectors of the promise. Protectors of the promise. Protectors of the promise. Protectors of the promise. Protectors of the promise.
Thank you, Lord.
Oh my God. So she did what she had to do to protect the promise. But again I said, God doesn't what? Because what Rebecca did, what Rebecca did, it caused what? Rift between what? Brothers. Between the household. We don't need that kind of havoc in our house, do we? No. So, your good, Levi, can be evil spoken of. Your good can be evil spoken of. It looks like a good thing to try to protect the promise, doesn't it? But God knows how to fulfill his own will. But guess what? The eternity of God, because God is outside of time and he's in eternity looking into time, just as how he told Jeremiah, before you were formed in the belly, I knew you. So God already knew in eternity what these folks were going to do in time. So he already had a way out. Oh my God. God is not surprised based on your actions. Nothing sneaks up on God. Nothing that you do or think, God is already in your tomorrow. He tried to tell you, don't worry about it, because he already knows. See, these are confidence. These are where you have confidence in God. Just say, my daddy knows my past, my present, and future. He already knows whatever sin that I would do in the future, and he have already made a way for me. All I have to do is just to keep the mind of God while I'm going through it, because I know that my Father will not leave me nor forsake me. That's the prayer that we pray. You don't pray like you just a goody two-shoe, like you ain't never mess up in your life. God, help me when I mess up. Hold me. Don't take your hand off of me. Like Esau, Lord. I have a good heart to bury my father, but right now I am compelled to go kill my brother. Help me to refrain my hand, because I don't want to do anything outside of your will. Okay, my baby looking at me. I'm going to cut off here. I'm going to cut off right here. I think that was, I'm going to cut off here. Cut me off.